All right, the next part is going to be over rates. So what is the difference between ratio and rates? Well, a rate is a ratio. Remember, definition of a ratio is it's a comparison of two numbers, right? Comparison of two numbers. The difference between rates and ratios is it is a ratio. It is a ratio. So we know that it's comparing two numbers, but it compares two different quantities. So last time we had to make everything be the same, right? Minutes had to compare minutes, quarts had to be compared to quarts, but in a ratio, we have two different quantities. So for example, say it took 10 miles to drive 4 hours. That's a lot of traffic. We're comparing miles to hours here, totally different, right? So that's what a rate is. It's still a ratio, but now we're comparing two different quantities. Now, we have something called a unit rate. That's what we're familiar with. A unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. Denominator of 1. You see unit rates every day. Driving to school, you see it. You see it at the grocery center. You see it at a gas station. You see unit rates all the time. And for an example of a unit rate, you would have miles per hour. It's 50 miles per hour. Could be a speed limit because it's 50 miles per means 1. So per hour is 1. The denominator is 1. You have gas right now is $2.45 per gallon, meaning per 1 gallon. The denominator is 1. So these are all unit rates. Grapes, $3.99 per pound. The denominator is 1 when it has the word per. So to change a rate to a unit rate, we really have to divide because we got to get that denominator of 1. So let's see what that looks like. So if you have 364 miles in 7 hours, as a rate, it's 364 over 7, okay? But I need to get this to be 1 because I wanted a unit rate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide. I'm gonna take my handy dandy calculator, and with the power of a calculator, I'm gonna type in 364 divided by 7, and I get 52, okay? So what that means is we don't really see unit rates written as a fraction. We see it as 52 miles, and I always use per, but that slash means per hour. So 210 words in 6 minutes. If I divided that, that would be 35, but I need to say, it's really 35 over 1. What is it comparing? 35 words per minute. 5 inches of rain in 3 days. If I divide that, it comes out about 1.7. So really it's 1.7 over 1, and I say 1.7 inches per day. If it takes you 30 math problems you can do in 52 minutes. So if you divided that, then it would be 0.6 problems per minute. Okay, so that's what a rate is. It's a unit rate. It means per, that denominator's 1, and it's just dividing. So let's look at let's do number 9. The table below shows the number of teachers and the number of students at each of 4 middle schools. Which school has the most students per teacher? So I'm comparing students to teachers. Notice the ordering is key. Students to teachers. This says teachers to students, but it's students per teacher. So I'm gonna take 840 and divide it by 34, and I get 24.7. About 24.7 students per teachers. And then I'm gonna divide 675, because it's students per teacher. So 675 divided by 40 is about 16.9. If I do 604 divided by 31, I get 19.5 students per teacher. And if I divide this last one, I get 20.6 students per teacher. So which student has the most students per teacher? Well, that would be this guy. Ed Woodge Middle School has the most students per teacher. Okay? All right, let's flip it over and see what we got on the back. So let's talk about unit rates with prices. All right, I know all of you have been shopping. And so here we're gonna do the same thing. And it's still division, it's still a unit rate, so our denominator is still 1. And unit prices give the cost per 1 unit. So for example, like $2.55 per gallon, right? That's a cost per unit. So I'm comparing cost to unit. And this is helpful when comparison shopping is in order to find the best deal. Come on, ladies. So when finding a unit price, you always divide the price by the quantity. So look at this order. You are comparing price to quantity, P to Q, right? So on this one, the price, $9.40 for 5 cans. So when I divide it, I have to divide price per quantity. So that comes to about $1.88 per can. Here it says 15 gallons of gas for $31.35. I still need to do cost, 31.35, over unit. Even though it's in this order, it's always cost over unit. And so this would be $2.09 per gallon. 8 movie tickets for $63.60. So it's $63.60 over 8 tickets. And when I divide, I get $7.95 per ticket. This is gonna come up later and you're gonna kind of forget which one because it's not in the same order. So really highlight price by unit or quantity, okay? And then a case of 24 bottles for $4.99 for 24 bottles comes out to be about 21 cents per bottle. $5.29 for 5 pounds of hash browns. So $5.29 divided by 5, that's about $1.06 per pound. Okay. All right. And so then we can answer questions like these. Like we always have to find the unit rate and then compare them. So you have options. Store A is 64 crayons for $2.99. Store B is 120 for $6.99. Well, it's always cost per unit, and that would be about 5 cents a crayon. And here it would be 100 or $6.99 divided by 120, which comes out to be about 6 cents a crayon. So the better deal is going to be 5 cents a crayon, and it would be option A. So that's how you find that. If you have questions, come and see me.